Hi, today in our lab exercise we are going to investigate a real-time file, a PCAP file that we have found in case of a bank robbery, and we are going to investigate it and see that how can we find certain things in the packets which are captured. Now, in order to do that, we'll be using Wireshark. Wireshark is a free and open source packet analyzer. It is used for network troubleshooting, analysis, software and communication protocols, and for educational purposes. So if you don't have it installed on your computer, you can go to wireshark.org, click Get Started, and install the variant of it which suits your operating system. Once that's done, we'll try to open the files in our program, which is Wireshark. I have already installed it, so you can see it running on my computer, but we'll have to see the task what we are going to do today. Now here in this one, let's try to understand. Jane and John Doe were arrested for a bank robbery. A traffic capture file was acquired from the John's employer. So we have the investigation file with us. A thumb drive containing the password protected recipe was found in Jane's possession, and the name of the file was Chocolate Treat Recipes. Now let me show you the files that I have on my machine. Now first of all, if we'll go to the folder, we have the investigation PCAP file which is mentioned over here. So we have acquired the file. Now it's saying that there is a password protected file called Chocolate Treat Recipes. So we have this one called Chocolate Treat Recipe, and if we'll open it, it is password protected. So we'll have to investigate certain things in this one just to find out. Now the first thing is that we need to find the email correspondence which took place between Jane and Joe. The other thing is that IM exchange with the relevant communication. So IM is instant messaging, so we need to investigate any communication which took place using the chat messenger or anything like that. Then we'll decrypt the file and we'll try to investigate the actual location of the file. Now let's get started. Since it's saying that the information is in investigation.pcap, there are a couple of files, there are a couple of ways how we can open it. You can either go to file and open the file, or you can go to the folder and simply double click on the file. You'll be able to find the file. Now you can create capture files yourself by simply browsing certain things, and then you can go through the traffic just to analyze the traffic that what's going on. Now, if you'll open the file which is investigation.pcap, you'll be able to see the number of packets that we have. As you can see that there are 206 packets which were captured in this sort of packet capture. Then in this one, you'll see that we have different packets and it has certain information on it. So if I'll click in any of these packets, you can see the information over here is changing. So it's showing us that what information is available in that specific packet. Now, if we want to find certain things, and if we'll check all these packets one by one, it's going to be a bit tedious. So we'll have to find ways in order to investigate it smartly so that we can check that where can we find the information that we are looking for. So in order to start it, first of all, what I would do is that I would click on statistics and then I would go to conversations. Now in conversations, we'll see all the communication which took place between two different parties. Now just to make it simple, if I'll click on name resolution, I'll be able to see the communications and the related things which are there related to any communication which took place between two parties. So that's the Ethernet communication that we have over here. If I'll click on IPv4, I can see the IP addresses and IP6. We don't have anything, and we can even check on TCP communications which took place between the parties. Now, why I'm checking it is because I want to see the noisiest communication which took place on my network, just to give me an insight that that could be the potential target or IP address for which I must be investigating. Now if you look closely, we have address A, address B, packets, bytes from B to A and A to B, and then the actual duration of communication. So if I'll sort it, I can see that maximum communication took place between these two parties, which is the IP address starting from 10.170. So we'll have to keep that thing in mind. Second thing is that I'll click on TCP and I'll do the same thing. I'll sort the communication over here as well, and here also you can see that that's a mail communication which is taking place between the same IP address. Now, if you remember, and if I may open the task file over here, we can see the screenshot of the email correspondence between Jane and Joe. So that's an email correspondence. And if you can see over here, it's saying mail hub. So it means that that's the one that we are actually looking for. So now we got a clue that what we'll be finding the information from this packet capture. The second thing is, which is quite useful, that instead of going through all these packets, we'll have to filter it so that we can look at the specific information without wasting any time. So in order to do that, we'll click on statistics again, and this time I'll select the option called protocol hierarchy. If I'll click on this one, it would open the statistics of all the communications which took place on my network. Let's see that how much communication took place on the logical links. So that's 4.9 packets. I'm not interested in that. I can see that the maximum communication took place in IP version 4. And further, if I'll collapse it, I can see that on transmission control protocol, I have some communication which is taking place over there, but that's the network communication. I'm not interested in that. And then we can see that hypertext transfer protocol, I have lots of communication taking place over here. Further, if I'll open the communication for the configuration, we have some data packets over here. So whenever you see some data packets, it means that there will be something on it, but since it's under the configuration test protocol, it might have the communication related to the Cisco communication. So in order to check that, we can right click on it, apply the filter, and select as selected. So once we'll close it, you can see that it's the communication, as I told you, that it would be Cisco communication which is taking place on the network, but that's not our goal. So we are actually looking for the communication which took place on the network. So we'll go to statistics, and then we'll click on protocol hierarchy, and this time, instead of going for data, we'll be selecting in hypertext transfer protocol line-based text data, and that's the communication that we can see in this one. So I'll right click on that, apply filter, and select as selected. Then we can close it, and you can see that there is some communication taking place which is HTTP as well as SMTP. Now if I want to see that what is there, and if I'm going to sort it according to the length of it, we can see that there is a communication taking place between HTTP, that's the noisiest one, chatterbox on our network, but I'm not interested in this one since it's not giving me any clue about the mail or anything that the communication took place. And as our document indicates that that's the email correspondence between the two parties, so we know that email correspondence is usually on SMTP. So out of these, if I'll see the length of the packets, that 222 over here, and if I want to see the communication which took place or which took place during this on this packet capture, I'll right click on it and I'll select follow, and I'll click on TCP stream. Now I can see the message on this one. As you can see, always the blue part is the client communication and the red part is the communication which is taking place with the server. So we can see use of the cake recipe, and hi Jane, I think you'll find that the cake recipe has what you're looking for. Check for the instant message for the special ingredient that you'll need, John. So they're talking about an instant message, and that's exactly our next task, is to find the instant messaging exchange communication which took place between two parties. So we found out the first clue in this one, that they are also talking about that there is an instant message which was communicated between these two parties. Now in order to find that out, I can clear it by clicking on this X button so that we have all the packets over here. And now in order to keep our life a bit easier, so what I can do is that I can either sort the traffic based on the protocol, and then we can see the HTTP traffic on this one, just to investigate that what took place. But the easiest and the better way is just type HTTP over here and press enter. So now we can see all HTTP traffic over here. We'll do the same thing, that we'll sort it by the length, and we can see the maximum communication is taking place, which is 1354, and we'll have some communication over here. Now if I would like to open this one and follow the stream of it as TCP stream, we can see some HTML code which we would like to investigate. So I can copy the code from here, and then I'll open Expression Web. That's a free application that you can install from Microsoft. The beauty of this software is that you have design and split over here. So if I'm going to replace the code which we copied from there and click on design, we'll be able to see the actual graphical user interface of it, that if we can find any clue in this one. But that's talking about the Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and it's talking about the configuration of it, so we are not interested in it, so we can ignore it. This thing wasn't very helpful. I'll remove this filter again, and I'll type in HTTP over here again and press enter, and again I would sort the traffic based on the length of the communication. Now let's see the next one, and as you can see here, we can find WebTrust Drupal chat, and in our question also it's saying that it's an instant messaging exchange. Instant messaging means a chat. So if we would like to open this one on follow stream, and let's see TCP stream, and if we would try to read the communication which is taking place on this one, is it's a Drupal chat, and it's talking about its length, and it's a chat communication, and you can see hi Jane, and as per my email they're talking about something over here which is yummy 3. So we can copy it from here. Seems like there is something in this one, and now we'll try to go to the folder where we have files, and that was the file that they told that there would be something in it. And let's try to paste yummy 3 in this one, and there you go. We can open the file and we can see that there is some information in this one. Now in order to reach the location, we can copy this link, and in order to find the exact location of it, we can paste it in Google Maps, and we would try to reach the destination. So for that, we'll open our browser and we'll type in maps.google.com, and then we'll paste the address over here, and there you go. We found a location which is somewhere over here. So let's go a bit further and see what this board is saying. So if we may, and if we can zoom a little bit, it's saying Bret Harty Elementary School. And let's see the Word document. They are also saying that go to the school. So that's the location that we were looking for. So for that, we will find the relevant details which were mentioned in the Word document. Now that was the task that we needed to investigate. We decrypted the file using the password which we found in instant messaging yummy 3, and Google Maps showed us the exact location where we wanted to be. So that's how we use Wireshark in order to investigate the files. It's an excellent software. You can use it for investigating purposes, and that's it for today. Thank you very much.